Welcome back to episode 183 of the God and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, and the responsible Christian gun owners' interest. On this week's show, we'll be talking about the recent joint Russian Sasquatch attack led by Trump and other things of that kind of interest. The world's gone insane.
It's craziness.
Yeah, bandwidth sponsor Farms Radio Network.
Thank you, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Also, Crossbreed Holsters. If you're carrying a weapon you need to be carrying in a crossbreed, check them out. Crossbreedholsters.com. Carry it across. And hey, just wanted to announce, Troy, this is our first show since we actually picked it up. But we want to announce one of our new sponsors, Axelson Tactical. You've heard us talk about them on the show umpteen times. But after the NRA, I talked to Jeff, and I've been talking back and forth with him, and he wanted to be a sponsor on our show. And I was like, awesome, man. So he wants to give our listeners a discount on some high quality rifles, pistols, knives, whatever you want. They also have a new backpack. I don't know if you've seen that backpack yet. I think I posted the video the other day on our Facebook page.
Cool, man.
Man, that thing is cool. A buddy of mine just took advantage of the deal the other day and picked up a new Combat 5.56 from Axelson. Oh man, came in. It's a sweet gun. You know, he actually took mine, and I told Jeff at the NRA, I let people take my gun all over the place. People that, you know, talking about wanting to buy one. I'm like, man, you need to check out this Axelson. It's a sweet shooting gun. It's a tack driver. So I let them take it, you know, and they put it up against their guns, whatever. And they come back and they're like, man, that's just a superior gun to the one I have. I'm like, I show you where to get one. So my buddy took mine. He brought it back. He goes, man, I got to have one. So it took him about a month before he had got it. And I called Jeff and got the deal on it for him, set up through the show and all that good stuff. And it came in in that new backpack. It comes in a hard case, first of all. So it looks like something out of a blast shelter. So you unsnap the top of it and flip it up. It's a hard case. You can actually take on airlines with you and lock it in the whole 9 yards. So it's
with a gun. With
a gun in it, yeah. With a gun. So on the inside, it's got a soft pack. Kind of like my Voodoo case, but it's from Axelson. The gun was inside that. It's got pockets on it and stuff. You can actually unzip it, get the gun out, take it to the range. You can fold it out. You can use it for a mat to lay on if you're shooting from the prone position. You can fold it up and use it for a rest to shoot off of. The coolest thing about this thing, man, you can actually unzip a pocket on it, pull backpack straps out of it, fold the bottom part of it up that makes a pouch on the outside, and a pouch that you can slide your gun in. They got straps to attach your gun to it, and it makes the coolest backpack I've ever seen. I was like, man, that is cool. So anyway, we just want to say thank you to Jeff Axelson and everybody that works out there with the Matthew Axelson Foundation for helping us out.
Donna and Corky.
Donna and Corky. Yeah. And thanks for all that you guys are doing, and thanks for helping us out. And they gave us a promo code. If any of our listeners, I put a link in our show notes down at the bottom. It's axelson.com. I'm telling you, go check them out. If you have not seen them already, go check out the rifles that they have. I told them I was going to put a plug in for them too. They just signed a big deal with Cabela's here about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months. But they have a red, white, and blue Axelson 5.56 that it's unique because it's got the Texas flag built into it, and it is the coolest looking thing. But they're shipping rifles to Cabela's now. And you can get them through there. But anyway, they gave us a promo code of God and Guns. If you want one, go check them out and save you a lot of money on a high-quality rifle that I guarantee you will not be disappointed in.
Yeah, I love mine. I tell you, the next one I wanted to get was the Reaper version. I don't know if it's off there or not, but the 308 version, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got the custom Glocks too. I'm going to check that out.
Have you seen that Glock with all the custom work on that thing?
Yeah, it's sharp, man.
Oh, it is too slick.
Yeah, I really like that. That was slick. All right, so this week's God and Gun activities, Doug. What you been up to?
Man, I feel like I've been running 90 miles an hour since last show that we did, which you wasn't feeling good. We couldn't get together and trying to get it all worked
sick
out
for like 2 weeks.
I know you've been sick, and I tell you, I was sick Monday, and it's uncommon for me. I left work early. I mean, it's not uncommon for me to leave work early. I enjoy that every chance I get. But I came directly to the house, and my daughter's pregnant, and they had just found out the gender of the baby, and they were having a big reveal party that night. And I walked in, I'm like, just tell me what it is. And they're like, it's a baby. I'm like, I know, but what is it? Boy, girl? They're like, well, you have to come to the thing. I'm like, I'm not going. I'm sick. And I thought I was going to hurl at any moment. I came straight in. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I went straight to bed, and I didn't get up till about 4:30 the next morning. And man, I was hurting. So I finally got over that. And let's see, what else? What have I been doing? Of course, I've been doing my daily devotionals. Church on Sunday. On the gun side, still no suppressor. So
Really?
No.
You got me kidding me.
No.
Somebody's got you on the bad list.
I guess. I have no idea. I have no idea why I can't have a suppressor, but apparently I can't. Somebody don't like me.
I think I called ATF myself at this point and say, "What is up?"
We did call. We called from the gun store, and they're like, "Oh, it's processing." Okay, when? If you're not going to get me have my suppressor, just give me my $200 back. Of course, they're never going to do that. But still no suppressor. Got a good deal on some 9mm ammo. Picked up 1,000 rounds to go plinking or shooting around with. I am going to the range Saturday. I picked up a new scope for my Axelson, actually. My buddy that bought the Combat 5.56 from Axelson Tactical, he picked up he bought a Burris TAC 30 scope for his gun. The mount, the whole 9 yards. Nice scope. And he got the Axelson in. He said the Burris didn't do it justice, so he bought a Steiner.
Oh, gosh.
I was like, okay, go for it, buddy. He said, you want to buy a Burris? Yeah. He said, you want to buy a Burris? I was like, yeah. How much you want for it? So he sold it to me for about half the price of what he bought it for. And he didn't have it a week. I don't even think he zeroed it.
Wow.
And I said, why, yes, thank you. I'll take that. So I actually have it. Yeah, like half price. I actually have it before the podcast over. I'll actually pull it out of the safe and show it to you. It's slick looking, but I'm going up the range Saturday, and I'm finally get to dial it in. I don't know how you are. If I have a gun and I got a scope on it, it bothers me if it's not sighted in, because I'm thinking, if I needed that gun, it ain't gonna do me no good. But it still looks pretty. I guess if it was in the house, I could just point down the hallway with a 30-round mag and just start lighting it up.
Inside the house, the scope's probably going to be close enough. Without even zeroing it.
Exactly. So let's see, what else have I been doing? Hitting the range Saturday. Man, dealing with puppies. Ooh, man, I got 9 puppies that are a week away from leaving the house. They're Saturday morning early. I got to actually take them up to the vet and get their puppy shots and get them all squared away. And I have buyers for just about every one of them. I have one female that is not spoken for yet. I haven't advertised real big yet, but hey, anybody out there listening wants a lab puppy, wants to buy a lab puppy. Let's put it that way. I got some good ones.
You're not giving them away.
No, not giving them away. I got some really good ones, and it'll make a fine dog for you. Also, man, I've been working the duck hunting thing, man. I've been working that like a mad dog, and I have booked hunts. I've already got 18 days booked in November and December. So that is going a lot better and a lot faster than I thought it was going to on my first year starting out doing it. And so I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Arkansas this year.
Cool.
I was telling you earlier, I just put a new alarm system in my house because I went for a long time, didn't have one, and with thugs and stuff now, and my daughter had gotten one, so she kind of talked Mama into needing one, that we needed one. Mm-hmm. Of course, my wife's like, well, you are going to be in Arkansas a lot in December, and she said I need to be protected.
You got some killer dogs there though too.
I got a killer dog, and if you can't protect yourself in this house, there's something wrong. You can pretty much pick up a gun anywhere in the house, but hey, peace of mind's everything. So if Mama's happy, we all happy.
Yeah,
we going duck hunt.
And you get a discount on your insurance usually.
Yeah. So actually, we've had somebody going around the neighborhood here recently, checking car doors and that kind of stuff, and breaking into cars. And I can't hardly sleep at night since I got the alarm system. Every time my phone will ding or something, I got to start looking at the camera because I got cameras now, so I can see. Oh. I'm just waiting for that joker to get in the driveway and be messing with cars. He's going to have a bad day.
That's cool. Yeah.
What about you, man? What you been up to?
Well, other than being sick for a while, we got our house under contract.
Hey.
We didn't even put it on the market. We were working on it to get it ready for market, and one of the people from our church calls up. We prayed, I don't know, 2 months ago or so that God would send us a buyer. We wouldn't even have to advertise. We didn't even have to advertise. Someone in our church said, hey, we know that you guys are getting ready to sell your house, and we want to look at it. I said, well, it's not ready. It's, we still got some work before we go and put it on the market. And we were getting everything ready. We put another $15,000-$20,000 into getting it to market shape. You have lots of little projects that you're going to work on, you were going to fix over time. And then when all of a sudden we decided we were moving, and we moved, and it's like, oh, wow, we got to do all this work to get market ready. Well, they're like, oh, just give us a price as it is right now. It's like, man, I really don't want to do that. Let's want to take it on the market. And they said, well, just let's look at it and give us a price range because we don't know if we could afford it. So we did that. We shot just a wild piece. They said, yeah, we want to see it. I'm like, maybe I should have shot a little higher. And so, but it went well. It was. They came and looked at it. They have a big family like ours. Well, they actually have 6 kids instead of 4. And they, our house was a 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and it would pretty much fit them. They were going to do some changes to it, whatever. But we got a contract on it. God sent them, and
nice.
It appears that everything's going to work out. We came to agreement on the price, and I had appraisal yesterday. I haven't heard anything back from anybody about being high, low, or whatever. But it's a no contingency offer, so. Doesn't really matter to me whether it was high or low or whatever, because he's going to buy it regardless.
As long as they're happy with it.
Well, they seem to be tickled with it. They've been out there and showed several family members, and he's already had his contract out there about what things he wants to do and change. And so it saved us some money, and so we were able to work out a deal. So that was answer to prayer. I know some of you guys were praying for us to get sold quickly. We didn't even get it on the market. It's sold, so that's good. So that was pretty much the just Troy stuff, the God stuff. We're working hard on the mission for Wyoming, getting everything nailed down that. We've got a team together. It looks like we're going to have close to 30 people now going.
Nice.
It's going to be a good-sized team. Excuse me. Logistics. It's been a little bit of a nightmare trying to get the hotel. Most of the hotels along the route were already booked, and so I've been negotiating with about 5 or 6 different hotel chains. Got us a really good rate on that. So I'm trying to get vans now. We've got one van, but we need another one, And so we're having trouble finding another van for that week because middle of summer on the youth camps and all that stuff. So all those are booked up. So I've got to find a 15 passenger van in the next month that we can take on the trip. So I don't know where it's going to come from, but I'm just going to leave it up to God. I'm going to keep calling. I'll get an answer sooner or later. He'll show up or something better. See, we got another mission meeting. Church did security Wednesday night. We've got mag locks now on all the doors, so I can control all the locks from inside of the camera
nice
room. Yeah, so I was able to lock out several vagrants wandering around trying to come in and get food and drinks and stuff like that. But my associate pastor had set up an automatic unlock on the doors at a certain time, and I mean, like 10 seconds before this guy walked up to the door, it automatically unlocked it. I didn't see it unlock. I'm like, I look, and this guy walks in there and goes in there and comes out with a bunch of coats and stuff under his arm. I mean, he's like, he knew that the door was going to lock. I mean, he's just like, he walked right to the door and just opened it up. I'm like, how did he know that was okay? So we got more procedures. We're gonna have to get some people walking the grounds just to keep them from yanking on doors and trying to get in. And it's the area around our church has really gone downhill. We've got so many people moved in from out of state in that area. Right around within like 7-8 blocks is like the lowest rent housing, and we've got homeless people. And it's not that we don't want to take care of them, but they're not willing to come into service and be a part of the church. They just want to come in and take stuff and grab stuff and run out. I mean, they just come in the door, they grab what they can grab and run back out. That's not, if they want to come in and sit down and worship with us, hey, we're fine with that. If they need, assistance, we have benevolence set up to take care of people that are in need. But these are just most of the time druggies that are, they don't have no money, so they come in and they try to get any kind of and drink it or grab it, and anything of any kind of value that's sitting around out of someone's reach, it would probably disappear. So it's bad. It's a situation, but we've got people that have caused this in our community. They've promoted the fact that Kentucky had really good benefits. I think it was like $36,000 a year you'd have to earn before you could equal the amount of benefits you get from just a sponge on the system. So that our Republican governor, our newly elected Republican governor, has been trying to reverse all that stuff done by the last two Democrat governors that have just made us a welfare state. And that stupid healthcare thing he signed on with Obama, it's just it's wrecked our economy. When the last time we had a Republican governor leave, we had $30 million in the bank as a state. I heard a report the other day that Kentucky is $30 billion in the negative due to them raiding the retirement system. Just a slush fund for the Democrats, and they raided it and used it and spent it on all kinds of other stuff. So all these state employees that had these pension plans, teachers and all these, it's $30 billion in the negative. If I heard that right on the radio the other day. I mean, it's just corrupt. I mean, these people need to go to prison. I mean, it's grand larceny. I mean, it's unbelievable, and nobody's like, it's always, it's not their fault. No, we didn't spend all that money. I don't know where it went.
Oh no. Well,
that's enough politics. Let's get back to God. Okay, God, we're pretty much done with God. On this, let's see. I was supposed to be in service Sunday, and I kept having problems with people coming and going, and so I was sort of in service and out of service, and in service and out of service, and I finally we had some other people come in and to steal, and I'd locked them out, and they had to come around into the service, and they sat in the service, and they went up into the church and started heading for the free stuff. And we had a little talk with them. And not that we don't really care about the cokes and stuff. It's just a matter of them filling them up, and
Right.
stuff. So I was not really able to completely relax and worship completely relaxed, even though it wasn't my day. There was another guy supposed to be covered. He didn't show up, didn't call me, didn't let me know. And then I had a couple of the guys step up and take over. And I don't know. It's just training. I've been training people, getting people in position, but every time there's something, they call me or text me or, hey, we need you. So
yeah.
I need to get an assistant train to take over my position so I can retire. I can still carry every day, of course. Shooting snakes and snapping turtles, and I've been trying to catch some coyotes here lately. Haven't had any luck on the coyotes. The snapping turtles are pretty easy there at the pond. You just stay on the bank with a 22 and pop their heads off. That's a lot of good target practice.
Snipe them,
yeah. It's good practice though, shooting a turtle head at 50 yards, 100 yards.
Oh yeah.
The 22. It's a lot of fun. I do it with a pistol now instead of a rifle most of the time, just to get my shot placement better. Man, there's been some crazy deals on guns and ammo.
Oh, I know.
It's just insane. I picked up a Palmetto State lower for $149 the other day, and it was complete lower.
The complete one. I saw that same one, man.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I could use that for the cannon. So I thought, and I've been thinking about doing a 223 wild build on like a 20-inch barrel or a 22-inch barrel for coyotes. And I thought, well, that could be the start of that, or I could use it for the dedicated cannon for now. So
for $149 for the whole thing shipped, that ain't nothing.
I know, it's crazy. And that was including the shipping. I don't know. I mean, you used to buy lowers, just stripped lowers for $149.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that wasn't including the trigger group or all that stuff. I mean, it was complete built $149 shipped, included the shipping. And so I told my FFL guy, I said, hey, I got something coming to you. So I just got a notice that it's shipped and it should be here tomorrow. So
nice.
I picked up 2,000 rounds of CCI mini mag at 6 cents a round at Kentucky Gun Company. I mean, that's back almost the pre-Sandy Hook stuff. Was it like $6 a box? And picked up, I had another 2,000 rounds. I picked up a Palmetto State like 3 or 4 days before that. That was at 7 cents a round. So that was shipped. So. And they had the HKVP 9s of Flat Dark Earth for $4.99. You said?
Did you get it?
No. I'm really having to budget myself right now because I'm paying for 2 households and I've got like 5 trips this summer and the kids are going to 3 different camps. And man, I mean, we've just hit, and we've been working on this pool at this house and a bad pump. I thought the robot, it had a robot cleaner came with it, and it didn't work. I was like, and the pool guy that came and showed us how to open up the pool, we had never messed with this pool before, said, oh, we got him there at the store. I'm like, well, let's look at it and see what we can figure out. He said, oh, I think it's bad. I was like, it's got a little fuse here. I'm going to see if I can get a fuse. I opened it up and they had a little oddball fuse. So I ordered like a 90-cent fuse from Amazon and popped it in there. It worked like a charm. So it just had a blown fuse in it. And instead of buying $1,000 cleaner, yeah. And so it's just been one thing after another. Now we've got leaks in the lines, so we're going to have to dig up the backyard.
Oh, geez.
It's going to become a nightmare. Like every pool I've ever had, it's just a nightmare. I hate swimming pools. They eat money and they don't get used enough. Every one I've ever had's been a pain in the hind end.
Well, I use mine. Mine gets a lot of work out, man. It's the Labrador training facility.
What's it? The jump dogs or whatever? What's it? The dogs that run and jump off the thing?
Oh yeah, we do water training in mine. I'll back Elle off and throw her bumper out there in it, and then make her sit for a second, and then let her go. And she shoots straight across the grass, hits the concrete, and sails. Goes and gets her bumper, swims out with it. So she'll bring it right, and she'll do it all day.
Yeah,
wears me out.
That's cool. I don't want my dog doing it because he'd rip holes in the liner. He's just a big doofus. He'd just shred the liner up, and that'd be the end of that.
She knows where the steps are. She don't ever touch the side. She don't ever try to get out the side. Nothing. She just she swims over to the steps, and out she goes.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll understand that, but I don't think he's that bright. He got too much of something stupid thing. Okay, so that's the guide, the guns, and the I've been sick excuse. And so EDC check, what are you carrying?
EDC check tonight. I actually have my Glock 19, Super Tuck Deluxe, got an extra mag, and my Kershaw knife. Actually, tonight I don't have. I usually carry the Team Never Quit ammo in my gun, but I got actually Hornady critical duty. I think that's what I got in it. In the 19, so that's what I've been toting since I got off.
And woke the pups up.
Yeah, somebody stepped on somebody's head, so they're all good now. But that's what I'm carrying.
I've got the Glock 19 Gen 3 Suarez slide. Oh, Suarez, they had a deal. They had PMAG, the ones with the windows in green, or what was it, flat dark earth, for $5 a piece.
What?
I put in an order for 10, clicked the cart, and I saw they had the flat triggers for like $59, like close to $200 for a flat trigger assembly set up for the Glock. I was like, I'll take one of those too. And by the time I got the flat trigger picked out and put in there, they were all out.
Oh no!
Because I got the email. It was like 5 minutes after I got the email. I was like, "Wow, PMags for $5 a piece." I just buy them and stick them on, stick them in the gun cabinet.
Oh yeah.
I mean, AR-15 PMags. There were nothing wrong with them. But like I'm gonna buy at least 10 of them. And before I ever got to check out, they were all gone.
Dang.
There was like 100 and something before I went to check out, and they were all gone by the time I got there. I got to looking at that trigger, and I thought, well, and by the time I got the trigger picked out, which one I wanted, it was gone. So too late. I should have went ahead and just closed out.
Should have bought it.
I'm back. Yeah, no, it's just. But carrying the Glock 26 in the backup cargo pocket holster. I'm in shorts mode pretty much ever since the end of February, 1st of March. I've been in shorts mode. And,
yeah.
Cargo shorts. And so I shot that snake in your honor, and I shot it.
Thank you.
I shot it. It was about 20 feet. I stepped it off after about 20 feet from where I took my first shot. Because when I looked down and saw it, and I started backing. And the gunner said, "Hey, there's a snake." And it had the colors of a rattlesnake. And I first saw it, and I thought, "What's that? What?" And I said, "It's awful long." I said, "I don't spend enough time messing with snakes. I just shoot them." Let God sort them out. Shoot them all. Let God sort them out. Sort of my motto with snakes. And I got all kinds.
There's only two kinds of snakes: live ones and dead ones.
Yeah, and so I got all kinds of grief from the snake lovers out there. That those are the good snakes. I'm like, well, I understand. Some snakes eat things that you don't like, but I don't really need a snake. I've got mouse poison, I've got mouse traps, and I've got things that take care of mice. And I'd rather the snake just not be in my yard or be in my barn or be in my shop or be in my pool. So I was telling you right before we got on the show earlier, we've been working on this backyard. It's a mess, and the pool, and we got stuff torn everywhere. And so I see something catches my eye, and I see a frog jumping across through the backyard, heading for the pool out. And this one comes and is moving, boys, booking in a straight line. And I saw the snake come out of the grass behind him.
Oh.
And there's It about a 4 or 5 foot long snake, and it was sidewinding like a sidewinder,
Uh-huh.
rattlesnake. A snake right here to do that, but it was sidewinding, coming up through there and chasing that frog. And it chased that frog right up to the edge of the pool, and the frog dove in. The snake just stopped and turned around and was looking for, I guess, another frog. And I never seen a snake like it. It was all black with yellow stripes down the side of it. I went to grab my rifle. By the time I got outside, he'd already slithered back into the weeds. So I sat there skiing for him for a while, and I'm like, well, I get in here and start working on the show. So I got another snake to take out.
Ugh. Maybe that's why you had so many frogs in your pool.
Yeah, the guys that did the roof last fall said that there was a snake out there in the backyard, and they wouldn't go around the pool. But there wasn't no snake in the pool. It was just, I guess it was trying to catch frogs around the pool or something.
Ugh.
Big old snake, big fat snake. I don't know what it was. I never seen one move a sidewinding like that, chasing a frog. That's the first time I ever saw it.
He needs to die.
Yeah, he's going to die. He's going to die one way or the other. I get the bobcat out there and take all the plants out. He'll get to moving. So that's our EDC. So you got a joke for us?
I do got a joke. Mildred, the church gossip, self-appointed arbiter of the church's morals, kept sticking her nose into other people's business. Several residents were unappreciative of her activities, but feared her enough to maintain their silence. She made a mistake, however, when she accused George, a new member, of being an alcoholic after she had saw his pickup truck parked in front of the town's only bar one afternoon. She commented to George and others that everyone seeing it there would know what he was doing. George, a man of few words, stared at her for a moment and then just walked away. He didn't explain, didn't defend himself, didn't deny. He said nothing. Later that evening, George quietly parked his truck in front of Mildred's house and left it there all night.
I think we did that joke.
Did we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
our buddy Chad sent us that one.
Yeah, if it wasn't for friends like Chad and a few others, we wouldn't have any jokes to share.
I know,
but I'm thinking we shared some version of that like 2 or 3 years ago. That's a good one though.
We probably did. I thought it was good too.
That reminds me of my deacon confirmation. Whenever I was asked to be a deacon up here at South Fork, I wouldn't do it unless it was a unanimous request of the deacon body, and then I'd have to have 100% on the election. And I can remember after the deacons 100% said that they wanted me to be a deacon, and so after it left that, it went to the vote on the guys that were picked from that group,
right?
And so they could call you and ask questions, or they could ask questions of other people. And we had this new family in the church who were just one step from being in the jail most of the time. I'm not putting them down. They were struggling. They were trying. They were seeking God. They were just all kinds of problems, family problems, things like that. And I'm not going to say names or anything like that. But this woman calls me up in the middle of the night, like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and wants to talk to me and interview me about being a deacon. And I'd been at the church like 20 years, and I'd served in a bunch of different roles. But she calls me up. She says, well, I want you to answer all these rumors I'm hearing about you selling drugs when you was a teenager. It's like, me selling drugs? No, I never sold drugs. Well, you had a brand new car when you were 18. I said, I was selling real estate and bought a car, and I paid for it with my own money when I was 18. Yes, but I didn't sell drugs to get them. I sold real estate. And she goes, well, what about your wife running around with this guy over here in Buffalo? Like, my wife has 3 kids at home, and she doesn't have a babysitter, so I don't think she's running around. And I turned around to Chris and said, "Are you running around with some guy in Buffalo?" She goes, "No, no." And she asked me a bunch of weird off the wall questions about how I'd robbed somebody. And I'm like, "Where are you getting this information from?" And she, "Oh, this people told me this about you." I'm like, "People in the church are telling you this about me?" "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Okay." I was like, I guess you don't want me to be. "Oh no, I didn't say that. I just wanted to find out if it was true or not." I'm like, "Well, it's just not true."
Yeah.
But you got those kind of people in churches that will run you out if you let that stuff bother you. I just laughed at her and went on.
Oh yeah.
But it just, rumor mill is awful. Back when we were teenagers, anybody had a really nice, expensive, or sharp car or a new car, what was the reason they had it?
Drugs.
Drugs. It was because you was raising marijuana or you selling drugs. That was the excuse for it. It wasn't the fact that you actually had a job and you worked and made money and paid for the car. No,
right.
you were a drug dealer. It seems to be the you're young in a semi poor community. I mean, Hurricane had its rich snobs, and then it had its sports guys, and then it had its farmers, and then it had its
the rest of us.
The rest of them that were always saying everybody was selling drugs that had anything of any value. So that joke reminded me of that. I'm busy making up.
Hey, I can tell you, we were cutting tobacco one year, and you know who I used to work for.
Yep.
So we were cutting tobacco, and we made the first trip to the tobacco barn, which was on somebody else's property, but he had leased that barn out to hang tobacco in. We come around the side, and there was a marijuana plant on the side of the tobacco barn that was probably, oh man, it was 10 foot tall. I mean, purty. It was a purty one. We dropped the tobacco load off, hung it, got it all done, took the wagon back out to the field to pick up our next load, come back, and that joker was gone.
He'd been harvested.
Cut it.
I bet I know which barn that was.
I bet you do. Tobacco wasn't Kentucky's only cash crop.
Anyway,
no.
I had a teammate that we ran into that was in what was that theme park that was down in Tennessee? Dolly Parton had down it was the Opryland park. What was that called?
Oh, Opryland
Park.
Opryland
Park.
Yeah.
We got down there, and apparently he'd rode down with somebody else, and they got in a fight, and he was there by him trying to get a ride back to LaRue County. He said, "Hey man, I'll give you this bag of joints if you take me home." I said, "Hey man, you throw them bag of joints in the trash, and then you can ride home with me for free." He said, "Oh man, this is some good money." I was like, "Guess you're gonna be stuck here."
Good luck.
And so I left him. I didn't take him in my car.
Heck no.
I ain't getting busted for having stuff like. I mean, that was just. I had a guy that I was just riding around his car. He had a really nice car, and he asked me to go for a ride with him. And you know him, and I'm not gonna say anything. He actually went to church with me later on after he straightened himself up. But we were out riding. He wanted to go over the hill, so and I was like, "Well, I'm not getting anything." I said, "But if you're going to go over the hill," he said, "I'm just going to pick up something for later." Over the hill, guys, means he's going to New Haven or Howardstown, and we went to Howardstown, and that's where the alcohol was in Nelson County, on the border of the county. And I was just riding along. I wasn't participating at that point, and I said, "But you're not going to be drinking, are you?" And they said, "No, I just need to pick up something." I'm like, "Okay." And so he had this really fast Ford product that was just amazingly fast. And we zipped over there, and he got his stuff and put it in the car and through. And stuck in the bag. You know what we were talking about?
Oh, I do.
So we were on the way back, and he reaches under the seat and pulls out a Ziploc bag full of joints. I mean, probably 100 or 200. And I mean, it's just the whole sack was this white rolled up joints. He said, "Hey, man, you want some of these?" I was like, out the window. Windows were down. He's like, "What?" I said, "You stop, I'm gonna beat the fire out of you." I said, "You know I ain't got nothing to do with that stuff." "Oh man, I can't leave that back there." I said, "You leave that back there and you take me back to town." I said, "You can come back and look for it." I said, "But it went over that guardrail. We was going up that up that winding road." I said, I ain't gonna have none of that around me." I said, "Is there any more in here?" He goes, "No.
No.
I said, "I'll beat your brains in. You go and try to drag that back in the car." I said, "Or I'll get out and walk from here. I ain't gonna be associated with that stuff." Earlier, you got busted for it. But it's just the community we grew up in.
Oh yeah.
I just my granddaddy, my mom and dad would probably buried me.
Yes.
So got some listener feedback. Let's see. We got iTunes one that I don't know how to describe.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it says pizza and ice cream. He gave us a 5-star review, and it's by, I think it's Greed. Oh, didn't shoot a tall. I don't know. I mean, that was sort of how it looks. And it says, "What kind of toppings and sides?" So I have no idea what it means. I don't know where. Maybe you guys know code or something. But we gave us 5 stars. So hey, thanks.
Thank you.
You get one from our buddy Trevor.
Yeah, Commander Savage over in New Zealand. He actually sent us some pictures of the range he attends and stuff, and sent a picture of his new gun. He says, "Hi, I got my CZ75B, and it's an awesome gun. Shot IPSC for the first time. I got 11th out of 18 overall.
Wow.
So I'm happy. It's a good start. All is well with the family. Little kids are cool, but it will be nice when my boy, 1, sleeps past 6 a.m. Yeah, good luck with that. Days. Yeah. My pistol club is less than 200 people, and we have seven different ranges. One is 100 yards, which I can fire rifles on. The rest are pistol or 22 only. Hope all is going good with you guys, and I'm looking forward to the next. I'm looking forward to my next drive because I have your podcast to listen to. Thanks again, and God bless."
Yeah, Trevor bought patch from us, and I was wondering if it'd make it over there without any trouble, and apparently it did. And I think he's, if I remember right, I'm thinking he's ex-military and he's a truck driver. So yeah. I may be wrong, Trevor. If I am, you can correct me, but I don't think it's Trevor Savage because my brother's name's Trevor. That's why I remembered it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you've been waiting a long time for this podcast. I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks. We apologize. It's been my fault mostly. And then Doug got sick the night we were going to do it again, or we were talking about doing it. And so it's all right. It'll all work out.
It will.
So weekly Bible verse. This week's Bible verse is coming from Psalms 55, 22 through 23. Excuse me, I got a cough. "Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved, but you, O God, will cast them down into the pit of destruction. Men of blood and treachery shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in you." Again, Psalms 55, 22 through 23. And the reason that I chose this verse is it sort of goes along with all you heavy burden, cares upon on God, and he'll give you rest. It's sort of like the new, the Old Testament version of that David wrote here, but is that God says that he's going to bless his people. People call him by his name, that are believers, who are faithful, who are followers, who are obedient. No, they're not perfect. We're not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. Doug makes mistakes all the time. but we repent of those mistakes and we try to continue to do right and to do what God asks us to do. We know that we can't be perfect. That's why Jesus had to come and be that perfect sacrifice for us. So when we have burdens, when we have problems, we're told in the scriptures, in the Old and New Testament, and throughout all the Bible, you'll see that God wants us to give him our problems. He wants us to look to him for the solutions. He wants us to pray and petition him for the things that we need, the things that we are concerned about, and not to worry, but to hand those off to God and let God take care of that. It's like we did with the house being sold. We gave that to God, and God took care of it, and God is taking care of it. When I've learned that, and had to relearn it and have to relearn it because I'm a little thick. When we will quit trying to do everything under our power and first turn to God and ask him for his wisdom, for his guidance, and for his leadership, then the worry and the burden is off of you. When my wife and I have been discussing the issue with selling that house and buying this place and the moves and all, there's all kinds of issues that comes up, and we're just like, God, we don't know what to do, but we know that you will take care of this. You will help us get this resolved. And he has never failed to take care of it. Maybe not the time that I want, maybe not the way I was expecting it, but he is taking care of it, and he has gotten rid of that problem, where he's taken that problem and used it for our good. Okay. And that's happened throughout my life. I can look back on the times that I've had problems. And so, guys, my encouragement to you tonight is, if you're a believer, if you put your trust and your faith in Jesus alone for your salvation, for your everything, that you've given up yourself and you're allowing Christ to live through you and being obedient to his word, if you're doing that, then he says to cast every burden, cast all your burdens, cast everything on him. What it means is take it off your shoulders, put it on God, and say, God, help me deal with this. Not that you don't have to work, or not that you don't have to take care of your responsibilities, but the worry and the doubt, hand that to God. Let him have it, and you will be free and light and not burdened by these issues that we sometimes just let us eat us up and cause health issues and cause all kinds of problems, because we're so focused on these issues that we're not doing what God calls us to do. So just trust in God, give him the problem, let him take care of the problem. And I've got so many stories I could tell you about that guys just brought me through, and I'm sure Doug does too. Doug, you jump in here.
No, you're absolutely right. It's like, those times back in the days when the girls were little, we had stretched a paycheck out and there were still 4 or 5 days left to payday. It's like, man, what are we going to do? And you go to the mailbox and there's an insurance refund check for the amount of money that you needed. And it's like, man, how did they know I needed that? Well, they didn't. God knew. God knew.
That's right. So where are we at? I have lost my place. Okay, so we're done with the Bible verses. Help out the show. We just want to talk about Patreon real quick. We had people request Patreon. We set up a Patreon account. We had people jump on board, and we really appreciate that. Our top guys are Tim, Kim, Doug Schultz, and Steve Stone are giving just an amazing amount of money. We really appreciate their support for the show. We appreciate, and I apologize, guys, we haven't really spent as much time with you guys as we have promised, but we need to get together and have the Patreon support guys on and just have a chit chat. So Doug and I need to get to set a time up so we all can talk together, and you guys can tell us about things that we could do on the show, things like that. But Patreon, if you would like to support us, we'd appreciate that. It's patreon.com/guidandguns. And you don't have to. I mean, it's up to you. But we appreciate the guys that do, and we just want to give them a little shout out.
Absolutely. So, thanks, guys.
Our main topic: space aliens, Trump, all attacking the left. No, what is it now? So I've been hearing this for 6 months, ever since the election, or like, yeah, these election results come in the next day. Yeah. What hacked the system and all the election needs to be thrown out and Trump is responsible but there's not one piece of evidence they can point to.
No.
Not one in 6 months. Was it not in 6 months? What has it been? 4 months? 5 months? 4 or 5 months? I'm sick of hearing it. I mean, it's just a big lie that's being put out by the left because they can't believe they lost. And so we've had this going on and on and on. Well, if you guys remember, this political, sorry, it's just eating at me. We're going to go on a little political side. We'll get it away from it. We'll get away from it.
Just a little.
The ex-Democrat chairman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz,
oh my goodness,
threatening DC police chief. Did you see that video? I put it up on my own personal page.
did.
Or she's sitting there threatening this guy because she's not going to get this computer. I don't know if it was Seth Riches, the guy that was assassinated by the Democrats, we think, for leaking that to WikiLeaks. And that, he wasn't Russian. He was American that was concerned about what the Democrats were doing.
Got gunned down in the street right in front of his house, right?
Well, somewhere in D.C. there. And the Democrats, pretty much Obama told them to close the case down. And it's finally come out now that they have kept the evidence, and that's what I'm thinking. That's what Schultz was hammering this police chief over, wanting that computer back because it's probably got all kinds of damning information on it. And she was pretty much threatening the guy on camera. News crews running film and everything. You need to give that back, or there's going to be a recompense. There's going to be you're going to suffer from what you're deciding to do here. But it's an ongoing case. It hasn't been closed. A murder case doesn't close.
Right.
It's not solved. Murder cases don't close. You can't just go in there and take the evidence and walk off with it. And that's what she wanted. She wanted to take the evidence and walk off with it. We got that going on. And then there's a special election in Montana and the Republican candidate, Greg Giaforte. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm sure I missed it. G Forte. Gianna Forte. I don't know. I'm butchering it up, I'm sure. But so a media guy's up in his face and he apparently body slams him.
Off the ropes, baby.
But he's up in his face. They're trying everything they can to get a Democrat elected since Trump's election.
Oh, yeah.
Every special election since Trump's election has ended up with not a Democrat winning. I don't know if they were all Republicans or not, but not a Democrat winning. And so they're like throwing everything they got at this one. It looks like that the Republicans are going to win this one as well. Not that I'm really happy with the Republicans right now, because they have undermined our president and they have not done anything they promised during the campaigns. They've not repealed Obamacare. They've not done any of these things that they all ran on. Again, I think this was the third time of the big series of elections that they ran on anti-Obamacare, and they haven't done anything because they're a bunch of rhinos, and I'm really ticked off.
Oh, yeah.
And this is political, guys. I'm sorry. We'll get off the politics here in a second. But I don't know if it's like you guys or not, but I've been praying about this. I've been praying our country would wake up and would kick all these politicians out and would get someone in there of character, a statesman. I don't know if Trump is the statesman, but somebody needs to be a statesman and come in there and clean house on this mess, this cabal of criminals and just evil people that are slithering around Washington. And there are Democrats and there are Republicans that need to go. And there are independents that need to go. And people are going to have to take notice and quit, electing people by what they get as give-me's and gifts and back and all that stuff. But what's your take on this, Doug? I know it's been irritating you.
Oh, it's like a quote Robin Williams said one time back in a movie when he was, I don't know if you remember the movie, when he was running for president and actually won because of a glitch. But he said, politicians are like diapers. They need to be changed office, and both for the same reason.
Yep.
They're
I mean, term limits definitely need to be part of it. I mean, we need to stop having these guys in there for 30 years and 25 years and 50 years. Don't do anything else, just career politicians.
What's that Democrat's name that's, I can't think of his name now. I was watching him this morning.
Which state?
He is, I can't remember where he's from. He's like up in big inner city area. He was on the news and stuff calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump. I'm starting the impeachment process. I'm like, for what? What did he do? Oh, he talked to the Russians. Okay.
There's no evidence, not any.
No. But you can go out and look anytime you want to. Obama did the same thing. Hillary did the same thing. I mean, you're going to talk to foreign dignitaries. That's just the way it is. I saw another thing the other day that just lit me up. They were saying that, and I almost can't say him, the guy that does the CBS News now, Scott Pelley, I think it was. I don't know why I watch CBS Evening News. We used to, my granddaddy used to watch CBS Evening News. My daddy used to watch CBS Evening News. And I do too.
Because it was one of the 3 channels that you could get in Kentucky.
Right. That's one of the big 3. And I don't know why to this day I still watch it. I do. And he was on there and he said, evidence is coming out that possibly 62 million people from Russia illegally voted for Trump in the election. I was like, really? Wait, got any evidence of that? No, you don't.
They're trying to overthrow the presidency.
I mean, they are.
That is a capital crime. The media are putting themselves in jeopardy if we ever have a real investigation into what's going on in the background here. Trying to overthrow a sitting president by lying stuff up. A lot of people will be going to prison if we get some statesmen to start holding people accountable. I mean, the trouble is everybody's for sale in Washington.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't depend on people to do their job unless they get some graft on the side. It's ridiculous that's what we're up against. But the people are going to have to get out there, and guys, representatives, your Republican representatives, and say, this ain't going nowhere with this impeachment stuff. That's a bunch of bull. I mean, I'm just going to say it's all made up. There, I mean, every Democrat. If you've heard that Sean Handy put something together I saw the other day where they asked every Democrat, is there evidence that Trump actually did anything? No. Is every single one of them? There's like 20 some, and there was a bunch of reporters. No, and the head of the FBI said no, there's not. But it seems suspicious. And the head of the CIA, it seems suspicious, but there's no evidence at this time. There's no evidence. But for 4.5 months or something, all we've been hearing about is this lie. And so at this point, it's pretty much a lie. And to keep repeating it would be, I would think, criminal. Because especially if you're going around saying that they're going to impeach him, they're going to try to remove him from Congress, remove him from the presidency based upon this lie they can't prove.
And now we have a special investigator now. So
why the Republicans did that, I have no clue. I mean, they were in charge of that. Well, they're just a bunch of rhinos. I mean, the worst one in the whole ring is McConnell, our representative from Kentucky.
Oh, he's horrible.
He's awful. He needs to go. He's just a sellout. He's a backstabber. He needs to go. He needs to get out of the state. He needs to just move off to somewhere else and leave us alone.
It's ridiculous.
Him and Ryan is just as bad.
He is getting just as bad. I used to like him a lot, and he just seems like now he's fell in with every. Yeah, he's a sellout, and most of those guys up there are.
Either somebody's got something on them, which I think is the way they work it. I think they get up there to Washington, they invite them to these private parties, and then they get them involved in stuff that will get them thrown out of office if they knew about it. I mean, we saw that when Clinton was a president and Hillary got all his FBI files.
Yeah.
Right after she got hold of everybody's FBI files and started getting that information, all kinds of things just started going their way. I mean, I remember that plain as day.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how those disappeared. I don't know where they went. And also, they showed back up on one of the tables in the White House. Whatever. It's been a criminal gang for years, and somebody's got to break it up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, somebody with character. Hopefully, some of these politicians, that even the ones that have got some kind of dirt over their head, will love the country enough that they'll sacrifice and go ahead and step out. Of course, as soon as they do, they're going to get discredited because they're going to pull some skeleton out of a closet. But when you dance with the devil, then you're going to end up getting burned.
Yes, indeedy.
Sooner or later, it's going to come out, and I would rather it be sooner so our children don't have to suffer through more of this stupidity.
You know, and
all right, so that's enough of politics.
You know, one last thing, you know, over in Europe's got its handful now with trying to deal with ISIS. You saw that dude detonated himself at a concert the other day and killed, you know, a ton of people.
Coming. I mean, it's like happens like every 3 months in Europe.
But, you know, I haven't seen not one terrorist that did that, blowed himself up or anything like that, or ran a car through a crowd or a truck or anything else named Bob or Tom, or, you know.
You mean they're not Southern Baptists? Who's it?
They don't seem to be.
Who's it always says? It's Paul Markle. I said, they're Southern Baptists. Suicide bombers. No. Southern Baptist don't suicide bomb.
No, they don't.
That's the white chicken, fried chicken bomb or something like that. But
I don't know. I don't know about you. Well, I don't think you got cable, but you don't watch TV very little. But I get up early in the morning, and I used to like watching the news, catch up what was going on. And now you turn a new, even Fox News, which I like better than most of the other ones.
They've gone liberal.
Oh my goodness, man! They just drive me crazy. All they do is talk about this Russian thing and Trump. I'm like, talk about something else. Let it go.
Well, they've got an agenda. They're trying to overthrow a presidency.
Oh yeah.
So they're gonna make everything, be some kind of criminal action, or there's nothing proving any criminal intent, or there's no evidence of it yet. I guess if you just keep on saying something long enough, people will believe it. It's probably the way it's going to go. Which again is a crime. All right, I'm letting go of that. I'm letting it go. All right, so we just talked about some hot topics tonight. You guys have anything y'all'd like us to talk about, discuss? I don't know of anything new that I've gotten in the way of guns. You picked up something a while back, didn't you? You did trade on something.
I haven't gotten anything since I got my Glock 21 back.
Oh man.
Well, I'm paying for a duck blind right now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So once I get that done, let me tell you, I was out at the gun shop the other day. All you duck hunting brothers of mine out there, or just like shotgunning, shooting. I got to hold it the other day at the NRA convention, and Benelli just came out with the Super Black Eagle 3.
Oh no, it's awesome.
And it is so nice. It's light. My dealership down here has got one. They actually just have a black one, and I really like it because I have a Vinci that's black, and I love that gun. And I'm thinking about real hard about getting me a Super Black Eagle 3, and I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But
you just gotta grab a couple of guns out of your closet there and go down there and trade.
Ooh. Hey, my local gun store also has the new VP9 SK, the short
SK. That's
the short concealed carry one, and they
also
have. No, that's the XDE Springfield, and they do have one of those as well. and I hate it. I mean, if you got one, you bought one. I hope you enjoy it. I've held it. I don't like it.
I asked the Springfield Armory guy. I said, "What's their use of this thing? I mean, it doesn't do anything. I mean, it's not a striker fire.
No,
it's heavier. It's got a heavier pull on it than the striker fire pistol.
So
a double single action has a heavier trigger pull than a striker fire, and I'm like, who thought this was a good idea?
So
we got some people with single double action.
Nobody cares about that. I walked up to the guy at the Springfield booth, and I'm like, "You got one of the XDEs?" He's like, "Yeah." So I'm looking at it, and I looked at him. I'm holding it. I'm like, "Why?" He said, exactly. He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Why? Why put a hammer on it?" He said, "Well, we found that a lot of people that had the XDSs and stuff, that when they tried to rack the slide, it was too much tension because it was striker fired, and putting the hammer back in it, it relieved a lot of the pressure on the spring, so people can rack the slide easier." I said, if they have that much trouble, they need to go buy another gun.
They have much trouble. They can't handle the recoil.
Oh my goodness! I was like, this is the silliest thing I have ever seen in my life, is putting a hammer back on this gun. It's got a decocking lever and all this other junk on it. I'm like, no, I'll pass.
It's complicated. I mean, it's what Brand 92 was. I mean, M9, whatever, it's all that mess. It's a European design. It's overcomplicated. Just, it's not a concealed carry type setup.
Hey, I don't know if we talked about this on the last show or not. We may have, but I'm going to say it again anyway. Speaking of Europeans, HK is putting a plant in Columbus, Georgia. All
right.
So guess where I'm going? I'm going to go over and check that baby out.
You going to go apply?
Ooh, probably not.
You need to put one in Arkansas, and you'll be right there next to line.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't wait to see how this year goes doing the guide stuff, because I've been told my wife, if it goes well, that may be what I'm doing from now on. And she's like, okay. I was like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah, but as long as people have disposable income.
Yeah. You want to come out and shoot some ducks? Come with me. Let's go.
Yep. Oh, I was talking about the Sasquatch thing earlier. About that guy that body slammed the reporter, got up in his face. You know, people don't understand that the further you get out in the country, the further you are from cities, the bigger the personal space is.
Oh, yes.
If you live in cities, you're used to people bumping and rubbing into you all the time. I know in New York it drove me crazy because people just rub by you and bump into you, and they're right up in your face when they're talking. You know, when you're in big cities, people get real up close and right in your face, that kind of thing. And it just creeps me out because I'm used to having a larger
40 acres
personal space. And this guy coming, this reporter, I'm betting what it is he got up in his personal space, which in Montana is about 4 feet.
Yeah.
Arm's reach. Okay. Got up in his personal space and started talking in a way that is threatening to a person that doesn't want to deal with you in the first place. But you get inside their personal space and you start doing something stupid, you're going to get slammed if it's a real man.
Oh, yes.
I'm telling you, I've had people that have walked up to me, panhandlers and stuff in big cities, and they've got inside my personal space, which is about 3.5, 4 feet. You get inside that range, you can get clubbed and kicked or knocked or shot or stabbed or maced or whatever pretty quick.
You get slammed quickly.
And I've had people that I've let them know they're in my personal space really quick. I bet you that was probably what it is. He got up in his face. And in Montana, you don't do that unless you won't get knocked down.
I heard on the news this morning that, that was the day before the election.
Uh-huh.
So this guy gets his clock cleaned, he gets body slammed WWE style, you
Mhm.
know, right there in front of God and everybody the day before the election, hoping that they would get him booted so people would vote for him. However, I also heard that like 70% of all the votes cast were absentee ballot had already been cast, weeks ago.
They're too late.
Yeah, they're too late. They're not going to go pull those back. So I hope he wins.
If 70% are absentee, they were probably all Democrats because that's usually where they stuff the boxes. Absentee and early vote, and they start voting 2 or 3 months early and keep on voting until they get enough people to overcome their opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I gotta get off politics. I'm gonna run everybody off. All right. All right, so we got lots of ways you can support the show now.
Absolutely.
You can join the NRA. We really appreciate the NRA helping our show, and we'd like to make sure that you guys are helping support our Second Amendment. If you're not an NRA member, please join. You can use our link. It saves you $10, I think, and they send us a little bit of love. DeVore, they had Vortex scopes yesterday. Oh, not yesterday. It's all this week. Vortex scopes, and they had the one I wanted. I think it was like $100 off, and they had $100 of credit. I really wanted that. DeVore is that clearinghouse for optics plant. So if you have ever been to optics plant, they have like everything gun, sports, outdoors related.
All things guns.
I buy most of my clothes through there. They've got some really awesome deals, and they've got stuff. So DeVore, if you use our link and you actually purchase something, they'll send us a little bit of love. Laser activated shot reporter John, the guys over there were working hard at the show. I didn't even get to talk to him because he had so many people every time I went by.
He did.
I didn't have opportunity to get to talk to him. I waved at him. That was about it. But use the coupon code GANDG, get 10% discount. Hoplite Armor, if you need body armor, soft body armor or hard body armor, or shoulder protectors, or you need a shield, a bulletproof shield. They've got helmets. They've got everything you ever need. We are a Hoplite Armor affiliate seller. So if you use our link, you can buy through there, and they will send us a little bit of love. Frog Lube,
the non-petroleum based minty fresh lubricant for your gun. If you need to clean a gun, lube a gun, Frog Lube is the deal. Larry says it saves marriages because it doesn't smell bad, and you can clean guns in the living room. Your wife or significant other will not get mad. Also picked up, have it sitting right here, my Frog Lube professional grade cleaner. So you heard Troy and I talk about, Larry did a demo for us, poured this into a pan with water, mixed it 1 part Frog Lube to 4 parts water, and dropped his gun parts in there, the entire gun,
right?
Everything.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my goodness. And couldn't believe he did it. And it was a Glock, and took it out, put a little Frog Lube on it. It looked brand spanking new, and it was clean. It just works. It just works. Yeah, that's their slogan. So go check those guys out at froglube.com and get you some product out there. And use a promo code at checkout, God and Guns. Get 10% discount on Troy and myself. Crossbreed holsters. If you're carrying a gun on your person or in your truck or next to your bed, if you have a gun anywhere, you want to carry it, use a Crossbreed holster. I am carrying right now in a Super Tuck Deluxe with a Glock 19. Troy carries the same thing with a light on his. They have the Freedom, the drop slide, the appendix carry. Troy's got stickers. And
I got stickers. So whoever's live right now with us, if they want to put their name in the comment box and send me their address when we get offline here, I will send you out a cool Crossbreed swag sticker.
Crossbreed sticker.
Get it out of my fingers. We got some of those for you guys that gave us at the show. So put your names in there in the comments. If you'd like one, I will drop one in the mail to you tomorrow. Just put your name in there, and then send me an email at troy@guidegunspodcast.com, and we'll make sure you get some swag.
They will be.
Else I can find.
They will be having a huge Memorial Day sale, so go check those guys out. Help them out. If you buy something from them, drop them an email. Tell them, hey, you heard you heard about them through God and Guns podcast. That lets them know that Troy and I are doing our jobs to help those guys out. They're a great bunch of guys. Check them out, crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
Carry the cross. So I have been taking this product called Zija since 2009. And in 2009, I'm going to give you guys a quick testimony. Everybody, if you've heard of Zija, you might have heard good things, you might have bad things, you may not even know what we're talking about. Zija, Z-I-J-A, Z-I-J-A is the product. If you go to my website, godandguns.my, Zija, Z-I-J-A.com, testimony in full, I'll give you a quick rundown. I had blown the disc out my neck 6 months earlier. 6 months earlier, I was probably 320 pounds. I was benching around 500 pounds. I was leg pressing 1,800 to 2,000 pounds. I was lifting really heavy. I was in the gym, and I was doing triceps extensions. I was sitting on a bench with 45-pound plates, and my legs locked underneath of the bench, and I was doing 340 pounds on tricep cable extension. And somebody goes, Troy, I did it, his pop. And then all of a sudden this sensation of cold water running down my. That started 6 months of terrible pain because I blew 3 discs out. I blew out the C5, 6, 7, and T1. The bulged all those discs, blew those out at that instant. And so I was in constant pain for about 6 months, and nothing other than acupuncture helped. The painkillers just made me drool and not care I was in pain, but I was in pain for 6 months straight. Nothing was helping other than I would go get massage and I would go get acupuncture. Acupuncture actually turned off the pain for like 30 minutes, and I would get to rest for about 30 minutes. And when they took the needles back out, the pain was back. And so that was compressed nerves that ran to my hands and my down my arms, and the muscles would stay contracted. It was just the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. And I've had lower back injuries from football and from car wrecks and things like that, but just non-ending pain. It wasn't a number 10 sharp pain. It was just a dull, aching 7 pain for 6 months. So at the end of that 6 months, I had gained like 100 and something pounds because I could not work. I could not sleep. I ate like I used to eat when I worked out. I couldn't work out because every time I worked out, it made it worse. Every time I tried to move or pick up something, that made it worse. I ended up gaining like 100 pounds because I just quit working out. I was still eating like a guy that was working out 3-4 hours a day. Chris Rogers, that we went to school with, Doug played baseball with him. He said, hey man, I got something. I think Krista, my wife, had posted something on Facebook, another sleepless night for Troy. And so she'd taken me to the hospital because she was worried I was going to have a heart attack because I was not sleeping. I was not getting rest. And all I was doing was moaning and groaning. She would make me leave the house because I was making so much noise so I wouldn't wake up the kids. We had a smaller house then. So I would go to the back of the house, or I would go to the far end of the house from where everybody was sleeping at. And I would just moan and groan. You couldn't stop it. It was just your body was just reacting to it. So she said, that's enough. You're going to the hospital and they're going to give you a shot or something, get you out of this misery. It's like, oh, gee, thanks. And I said, it's not going to do good. It's a painkiller. It's just going to dull the pain for a little while and then it's going to come right back. And she's like, you got to get some rest. And so dropped me off to the emergency room. I sat in the emergency room with sick people coughing and people bloodied and fights and nails through the fingers and all the stuff that you see in the emergency room for 4 hours. Went in there and they said, why you want drugs? I'm like, you've seen my x-rays, that I blew these discs out. My wife wanted me to come up here and see if I could get something to help me get at least a night's sleep, because I was sleeping maybe 30 minutes to an hour at tops for the better part of 6 months. And she said, she wanted me to come up here and try to find something, if you guys give me a shot, that I could sleep for a little while and get some rest. Okay, they went back. They came back 45 minutes later, said, okay, we're going to give you a shot. They gave me the shot, and it lasted about as long as it took them to check me out and tell me I had to leave the room because they needed the room. So I was in there for about 30 minutes of actual relaxing. I never went to sleep because there was people coming in and out, in and out. As of just a easing of the pain. Then they kicked me out to the curb, and so it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't drive. I was on such painkillers and stuff. It wasn't doing any good, but I could drive because of the painkillers. And so I didn't want to call my wife. So I sat there on the side of the sidewalk for 2 hours, and I literally, guys, I just would cry. It wasn't that I was not manly. It was just the pain was so much that the tears just would run down your face. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever had pain like that, but that was what I was like. So I'm trying to make this as quick as I can. So did that for, came home from that, couldn't go to work. Thought I was going to lose my job because I would fall asleep at work because I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't talk. Speech was slurred when I used the pills. I had to get a ride with somebody to go to work. It was awful. And so Chris Rogers calls me up and says, man, you got to try this stuff. I don't know if it'll help you, but I want to give it to you. I want you to try it. And I'm like, I don't want was it pyramid marketing? Everybody thought it was just pyramid marketing back then. And I mean, there are pyramid marketing schemes out there, and this is a personal marketing setup. It's not, but the product is real, and the results are real. Because what I did is he said, take this as the instructions say, mix it up, drink it once a day in the morning, and take it until you take this whole box. And so I took it first day, nothing, second day, nothing, third day, I woke up but I wasn't really sleeping, but third day I woke up, my fingers and feet weren't as stiff and tight, as normal. And so when I took it fourth day, it was about the same as third. Fifth day I woke up. I had slept all night long, and I wasn't in pain. I didn't have any pain. After 6 months, no pain. That was like a miracle. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that was what happened to me. Okay. So I tell Chris, said, sign me up, whatever it costs. I don't care. I got to have this stuff because it fixed me. Go to my doctor, get a physical like the day before the fifth day. Everything's off the charts. Triglycerides were high. My blood glucose sugar was through the roof. My heart rate was through the roof. And it was because I was in pain. I mean, this is before everything kicked in. You need this prescription, this prescription, this prescription, this. And he had like 5 prescriptions. You need to go here for dieting classes. You need to do this. And I was like, man, this is like being hit with a sledgehammer on top of all this pain and mess that I've been going through. And so I said, I'm just going to do the Zija. And I didn't tell him that, but I just thought to myself, I'm just going to do the Zija. I'm going to get on diet. And Chris said, hey, there's a weight loss plan that goes along with this stuff. If you want to get on the weight loss, I can get you those products as well. I said, sign me up for all of it. So 1 month after I started the weight loss stuff, I mean, that 1 week that I started taking it, I lost 12 pounds. I didn't even do the weight loss part, but I just did the Zija part. Mm-hmm. So 1 month after I started, I had lost 70 pounds in the first month. Oh, yeah, 70 pounds the first month. I think it's in my thing. It's been since 2009, but it was like 70 pounds the first month. I lost 20 something pounds, or 50. I don't know. It's starting to run all together. I'm getting old. It was like 50 and 30, but at the end of 3 months, when I went back to the doctor, I'd lost 120 pounds, 117 pounds in 3 months. I had all my triglycerides went back to normal. All my blood sugar went back to normal. All the everything that was elevated was back in the normal range. Now, I did some serious dieting, guys. I'm not saying it is 100% Zija because I got serious to get my life back, but I was not in pain ever again, except for when I would not take it. If I went, quit taking it for, about a week, if I quit taking it for about a week, I start getting pain. I start getting numbness in my fingers again. I start getting
Mm-hmm.
muscle contractions. And so it's something that I take all the time. I've been taking it since 2009. The only time I've ever been back in pain since then is when or like I've not taken it for like a week. I go on a trip and forget to take it with me or something like that. So I'm just telling you guys my personal testimony. It may or may not work for you. There's two parts of this. The first part is it's a great product, health product, and they've got lots of other products. I started taking this super mix, and that's pretty much what I take. And there's the XM3 pill for diet and energy. That's a all natural pill, and all that information is on the website. So I'm not going to waste all that time here. I just want to tell you about my testimony, why it is that we got Zija on here as a sponsor, because I set this up to help our show, help fund our show. And so the other part of that is it's a business opportunity. So if you like the products and you say, hey, this stuff is real, like I did, and I'd like to share this with this person. I know it's got this chronic illness, so this person's got this. And the Zija, the Zija is a Moringa oleifera, which is a natural plant. It's got more anti-inflammatories than like any other plant. So you can get all the information on the site. I'm not going to take it up here, but if you guys would like to support the show, go to my website. It's godandguns.myzija.com, and you can find out more about it. You can see my testimony, and if you guys want to purchase things, you can purchase there. If you want to hear more about the business opportunity, my contact information is in there, and I can set you up with someone that can help get you set up in the business if it's something that you'd like to do. So that's all that. You got the next.
Last but not least, our new sponsor. We just talked about them earlier in the show when we first started. Axelson Tactical. If you want a precision rifle, go check those guys out. AxelsonTactical.com. Jeff, thank you guys over there for all that you're doing to help us out. We promote you guys. Remember, we help those guys out promoting the Matthew Axelson Foundation, which is Jeff's brother. Navy SEAL who was killed. If you've seen the movie on Survivor, Axe in the movie is Jeff's brother, and he lost his life defending the country. And they started the company out making tribute rifles to raffle off for the show, and it's grown. And they have a great business going on there now. They make a superb rifle. Troy has one, I have one, and a buddy of mine now has one that he swears by. If you're in Georgia and you ever want to shoot one, all you got to do is let me know. I let guys shoot mine at the range all the time. But go out and use our promo code. If you decide you want one of their guns, use a promo code God and Guns, and they will give you 10% off for being a sponsor of our show. And we can't thank them enough. So check them out, AxelsonTactical.com.
Cool. You got an NRA armed citizen, Doug?
NRA armed citizen, I do have one. Bank robber and customers shot at each other inside the Key Bank branch in Coleraine Township, police say. Coleraine Township, Ohio. A bank customer and a robber fired at each other Monday inside the Key Bank in Springdale Road, according to police. Coleraine Township officers were called to the bank at about 11 a.m. Employees told police the robber, wearing dark clothing and a black hat, came inside and demanded money. Jim Love, Coleraine Police Department spokesman, said investigators believe an accomplice waited outside. At some point, the customer and the robber fired at each other. None of the customers or the employees were harmed. It's unclear if the suspect was injured. Police put an alert for local hospitals in case anyone come in with a gunshot wound. The two men were last seen running off, Love said. It would seem maybe they had a getaway plan, maybe a vehicle somewhere else, he said. We are not real sure, but it doesn't look like we can find them right now. The customer who fired was illegally carrying a firearm, Love said. The FBI is helping with the investigation. Anyone with information on the robbery or the man in a photo that is pictured on their website should contact Coleraine Police Department Criminal Investigations Unit at 513-321 COPS. And that came to us. The author of that article was Ashley Zelka, I think is her name. So,
But too small of fun, Doug.
I know I didn't blow that one up big enough. I want to make sure I gave her credit, but I didn't make it big enough where I could read it. But you know, a lot of banks won't let you carry inside.
Well, they put those little signs on the door.
Yeah, they do put the little sign on the door. You know, and I try to stay away from banks that have a Beretta on the door, but because I don't carry a Beretta, so I figure every other gun's good to go.
Beretta with a line through it. It's hard to find.
Or a revolver. I don't carry a revolver either.
I don't carry a revolver. I might carry a revolver as a backup. I carry that SP-101 every once in a while as a backup.
True.
Wrapping it up. You got anything else, Doug?
That's it, man. Glad to be back on the show.
Yeah, we apologize for not being on. It's mostly my fault. Or it's probably all my fault.
Nah.
So send your feedback to Troy at GunGunsPodcast.com or
Doug at GunGunsPodcast.com.
Please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review like the weirdo that was this week. It's a 5 stars. Like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/GunGunsPodcast. You can subscribe to us on YouTube now. YouTube channel, and I put the hyperlink because it's like 75 characters or something. I apologize for coughing in y'all's ears. Follow us on Twitter at God and Guns Pod. Search for us on Instagram. I've been trying to put stuff on Instagram. Search for us on MeWe if you want to do some gun trades, because that's about all I do over there. Website is godandgunspodcast.com. So until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Bye, Doug and Ron. And who else is on here? They scrolled off. Well, thank you all for watching live.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Later.
If I can get this thing to close.